All right. So what do we have here? So for dinner, I'm serving for myself and for the ancestors. Now, I am serving two ancestors in mind. I'm serving my great grandmother. No, my great grandmother. Yes, my great grandmother and my grandmother. My great grandmother on my mother's side and my grandmother on my father's side. So I have here. I know this looks like compost, but it's actually a very delicious apple, tomato, spinach, sesame ginger salad, which I'm actually going to take some from here because I didn't put any on my own plate. And then I have 2 servings of rotisserie chicken here. So I'm going to add that here. I'm going to put the water here. So I've got rotisserie chicken, 2 servings of rotisserie chicken, salad. I have sweet potatoes, and I also have watermelon. Put the watermelon here. What does it fall on? I'll put the sweet potatoes here. And then I also have cheesecake. Because you guys love cheesecake. I think I will put the cheesecake in here. All right, rotisserie chicken, sweet potatoes, watermelon, apple, tomato, spinach, sesame, salad. I'm also going to serve them up some lemonade. Now, why do we do this? Why do we put this food out? This is food out of my own mouth. This is a sacrifice. So you don't even have to think about this as literally feeding the ancestors, but it's simply the sacrifice. This is 2 plates that I could have fed myself with, right? Because I don't have much to be feeding anyone else but myself. I barely feed myself. So this is a sacrifice. I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember putting out this food. It is a burden to myself. Not a burden, but it's a sacrifice to myself to lay out this food for the ancestors. Now, a lot of you may ask, well, what do you do with the food after you've set it on the altar? And personally, I leave the food overnight, and then if it is okay to eat, I'll eat it the next day. But you can bury the food if you want to bury good intentions outside your home or near your home. You can bury the food. You can feed it to strays outside. Give it back to nature. You can feed it to your pet if you're okay with feeding it to your pet. Really, what you do with the affect of food after is really up to you. Whatever you feel comfortable with. What I feel least comfortable doing is simply just throwing the food away. I want to give it back to the earth in some capacity, whether that is letting the cats eat it, if they will eat it, or literally just sitting outside and letting some stray animals eat it. Well, I don't think that would be really possible in this area. On the south side, there were a lot of stray dogs and stray cats who would personally love all of this, but I don't think that's the case for this area, so I wouldn't necessarily do that in this area. But definitely give it to the cats if they want it, or I simply just eat it the next day myself. It's perfectly good then. It's just simply the sacrifice of it not being fresh. It's just that sacrifice. So I'm also gonna go ahead and light these candles. I should have got a lighter when I was out. I need a new lighter. I'll use this candle. I light these candles and light these incense. one thing I forgot to mention in the other video is that I forgot to mention that I used olive oil. Well, I mentioned that I used olive oil, but I forgot to tell the significance of olive oil. Now, olive oil, you know, it's this, olives are this, the olive tree is this plant. Is it Greece? Well, I think that, you know, I think this is just an olive tree. Obviously, it probably has some biblical connotations. Not just this, like, I mean, well, it is. It's this Mediterranean tree. And so, obviously, you have, like, you know, mythology surrounding olive branches. And, you know, olive branches being symbols of peace. So, you know, that sort of thing exists, and that is the same meaning, it's the same affect of using olive oil in magic. Sort of this affect for peace and healing in that way. I don't think I'm going to be able to light this candle like this. But also remember that as you light your candle, I'm not saying prayers as I'm lighting my candle because I'm trying to explain olive oil. But when you light your candles, say your prayers for blessing. I say the prayer of Jabez, oh, that thou would bless me indeed, enlarge my territory, may your hand be with me, and keep me from evil, that it may not grieve me. But back to olive oil. Olive oil is, even not in magic, olive oil is it has a lot of healing properties. Honestly, I drink olive oil like water sometimes because it will literally moisturize me from the inside out. I mean, hands, feet, hair will literally moisturize me from the inside out. And while it's doing that, olive oil has this antibacterial agent to it. It has this antibacterial property. That is both physical and spiritual. That's what olive oil does. And that's why it's good to anoint your candles with olive oil. I'm probably gonna set the smoke detector alarm off. I have this one hole that is just, there's some old incense stuck in there. These are rose incense. So again, that flavor sort of goes perfect with this altar itself. I should have set this down before I lit it. Oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory. May your hand be with me and keep me from evil, that it may not grieve me. This little yellow candle is worrying me, honey. I think I might get a little dish, something for her to sit in. I don't. I think it will end up breaking that glass if the glass gets too hot. It's not necessarily the magic I want right now. Let's see. I have this little gadget right here. This is actually for strumming tea. But with. You just need something to stick your candles on. You just let a little bit of that wax hit the holder, whatever holder you're trying to use. It's burning my sugar. Hopefully that's enough. I think that's enough. Yep. Okay. I hate that it's leaning. That's the reason why I wouldn't stand up in the first place. But that's just me. It means nothing if your candle is leaning. I'm just being an asshole about it. Of course, though, there are goodness. Of course, though, there are omens. You know, there's an omen in saying that if your candle falls, then it affects the magic and the consequences and the results of the candle. You know, it really speaks to your confidence whether something like that whether you will allow something like that to affect the confidence of your magic and of your spell. But really, if your candle falls, just pick it back up and relight it, and just make sure that you don't burn the place down. There are other omens about candles, like if your candle is smoking black, then it means that your spell is not going to take effect properly. Excuse me. But really, most of the time, the reasons why candles smoke black is because there's some sort of wind or air that is messing with the flame. So really, don't let omens. This is not some Illuminati, you know, Harry Potter shit. I mean, you know, yes, you could be doing something wrong. Yes, you could be setting the wrong intentions and not really have the right mindset. But the whole purpose of this, and the whole purpose of hoodoo, and the whole purpose of magic, and the whole purpose of spirituality is that you learn over time what these things mean. And so if something feels like an omen for you, you will learn, as you keep going and as you keep doing this, ways to work around that omen and ways to make the magic work for you. I really love this altar right now. It's really beautiful. It's really giving me everything. And so I'm going to sit down and have my dinner and eat. It smells beautiful in here, and I'm just really happy with this, making this the permanent altar. This is really great. Only thing that I wish that I had is I wish I had more personal affects from the ancestors, but I don't. And you don't need, it's not necessary that you have personal affects from the ancestors. It's just something that helps. But really, when you're making an altar, you can incorporate the things that bring you joy, the things that bring you energy, and the things that make you. An altar is really like a vanity. So put your perfumes on there, put your hairbrush on there, put the things that make you you, put the things that, you know, that really glam you up, the things that really make you who you are, and the things that you take pride in. And that as an altar works just as well as an altar that has personal affects from your ancestors. So again, I have my journal, and I have my cards that I read with, my playing cards that I read with for cartomancy. And again, I have a spread for the ancestors. It's the same meal that I'm about to sit down and have. I have candles, which all of these colors are a bit familial to me. These are the colors that my ancestors emit, and they all are seasonal. The colors are seasonal with this new moon to full moon that we are going into, as well as the flowers is also giving that same effect. We have lemons. Again, those tie into the personal affects. Geez, I just thought of an ancestor that I also have, and a woman who used to babysit me. The reason why I love pound cake so much is not only because my aunt who's still living, she makes pound cakes, and she used to make them for my grandmother. But also this woman who used to babysit me also made a pound cake that was fucking delicious. And it was a lemon pound cake, and that's why I really love lemons so much. So we had the lemons here for that, and really I can really start to think of that woman. I never even thought of that woman as an ancestor, but she's definitely an ancestor. She definitely played a very integral part of my growing up. She definitely is the reason why I bake pound cakes for BC Bake Ultimate Oven. And so we have those lemons here, you know, that this is an altar. This is how you create an altar. This is about a festivity. It's about a festival and a celebration of the people who came before you and the people who will come after you. All of that is represented here. Again, life is a page. This is my page. I'm writing my page, and I'm also seeking to look at the pages of the people who came before me and the people who came after me. That is why we do magic. It is to complete our lives and our lineages in that way. And not only cast ourselves in different possibilities and unfavorable possibilities, but to also cast our lineage and our ancestors in favorable possibilities. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Until next time, bye.